Okay, this is some crazy mess. If I've heard of anything in all of my days, my light is pretty bright. So before I get started, let me turn this up. I want to make sure everybody can hear me well, and I don't want nothing sleeping. I don't want nobody sleeping. Okay. First of all, to continue where I left off at, um, there is quite a bit much more to cover before I even decide to wash my hands with this. Um, I think I want to just go back to, let's talk about the murders. Okay. Well, when murders took place, at first I was unsure as to what really happened. And when I got the information, I got all the information from like some of the people, like there was a girl, Kimberly Slack. There was some of the perpetrators themselves, which was the gang guys. And I actually spoke to them. This was what's really crazy. I spoke to them. Now, one in particular, name is Lewis Gray. I mean, I was in there crying my eyes out. And at the time I was in school, my dad passed away, and now I'm in court about my daughter being murdered and trying to put this mess together and figure this out. So I'm crying in the courtroom while Lewis Gray is standing trial. And I'm saying to him, hold up, you wouldn't help your mother? You mean to tell me you wouldn't help your mother? I said, that's what this is all about. This is bigger than y'all. Y'all is small, okay? I already knew it was bigger than them. But the only thing was I couldn't put it together as to how it was that they wanted to murder my daughter and then how it played with my investigations. Because that's what it all boils down to. It went back to my investigations. So the guys, when they all got locked up, it was somebody named Alawala Alice. Um, I can't think of the other boy name, but I know it was Lewis Gray. And what was his name again? DeMar Edwards. Yeah, I got it right here. Okay. So they all started talking amongst themselves. And then they just started talking and then talking out loud. And I could hear them. And they were like, well, what was the reason for the girls to be murdered? See, I learned that with the gangs, when they went to go and murder somebody, they don't ask questions about, well, why we got to murder her? Like, why we need to do that? What was the purpose? And things like that. They had no intentions on murdering her. They were told to murder her. The intent was a gang plan hit. The murders had to be split in half. Now, if you take the dudes and then separate them, that may be the gangland hit issue, what they were talking about. But when it came to the girls, because she was murdered with another young lady, which was my cousin, okay, and a guy. And then there was another guy that was with them, but he jumped out the window because he was showering and he heard all of the shootings going on. And he jumped out the window and ran down to a pub that was down the street from the house where they found them all dead. My point for bringing this up is that when the boys did the murdering, and even Gray, who I spoke to personally, said he was there. He said he had a shotgun. He was playing with it in the car, not playing with it, be trying to jerk it, not jerk it, but how do you say? He was kind of trying to, I guess, prepare it for shooting. Okay, but by him doing that, I guess he kept fumbling with the barrel or something. And when the time came for him to do the shooting, he said his gun wouldn't go off. It wouldn't shoot anybody. He said, but at the time, he said, now that I think about it, he said, I could have stopped it all. I could have stopped everything. But if I think about it, if he would have stopped it, don't you know, today they would have killed that boy? They would have got somebody to kill him because they had strict orders to leave from New Jersey and go to Pennsylvania and murder my daughter. Now, although there was this issue going on about who's having the the titles in gang activity, and that's what the boys was fighting about. Who had what title, what military rank, and they were concerned about one of the young men coming up and taking over. So they wanted to fight him. It's just my daughter and Ali was there, and they really shouldn't have been. But however, being that they was there, it wasn't like they wasn't known that they was there. Like they knew they was there. So the guys, the mafia, sent the boys from East Orange, Irvington, up to Pennsylvania, because that's where my daughter was, and had her murdered. So when Louis Gray said to me he could have stopped it, like I said, he would have got killed because they would have killed him later on. In addition to that, when he's cocking it, he was trying to cock the gun. I couldn't even get it out. See, I don't know about no guns. That's why. But that was why they were murdered. But they didn't know why they were murdering them. See, they didn't have no gang related reason. In other words, okay. So when the guy started telling me all about this, I'm saying to myself, what? And that's when I knew, oh my God, the mafia. I was thinking House Authority at the time. I didn't find out later that I didn't find out there was mafia till much later. But this happened in 2007. We didn't go to court till 2010. By the time I went to court, this is when my father died. Okay. I'm trying to go to school. I couldn't even focus. My head was just all over the place. But I knew when I got in that courtroom that I had to get some answers. And that boy said, I'm going to tell you everything, Mom. He said, I'm going to tell you everything, Mom, because I am crying. I mean, I had so many tears running down my eyes, you would have thought somebody had a pool and just poured it on me. Because I couldn't believe all this had happened. These people, the mafia, is mad because, in all reality, I wanted to work. Chanel told me about the smoke detectors, which somebody must have told her. And even if I wanted to fight them and sue them, this is a fight between me and them. Why are you going at my kids? So I wanted to put it out there. This gangland hit, did they try to make it seem like, oh, the gangland hit? You know? No, it wasn't about the gangland hit. And I'm going to show it again, because I don't know if I had it close enough the last time. Okay. This is the front cover of the Express Times. And here I am on the front cover. I don't know if you can see that well. Yes. I'm burying her. I'm preparing for burial because I'm burying her in Newark. I forget the name of the church. It's on 10th Street. 10th Street and 18th Avenue. Okay. And even when it was time for me, it was First Corinthians Baptist Church on 10th Avenue. Okay. Even when it was time for me to talk to these guys, I mean, honestly, by him talking to the judge, because nobody wanted to have a hearing with a juror. I think maybe one of the guys had a hearing with a juror, maybe even two. No, just one. I think one. His name was Ali Davis. I remember the jury being there because they asked me to come up and sit in the witness seat and discuss, my relationship with my daughter and things like that. But I didn't want to discussion with them or discuss how I felt about my daughter at that point. I wanted to talk to Ali Davis. I think that's his name. However you put it, at this time and everything I was going through, which was so heavy, I had to just take everything, and then I had to hurry up and leave to Jersey. I got there, which I was only in Pennsylvania no more than 3 days. How about they buried my father? And I wasn't there. Couldn't even say goodbye. They buried my father while I was trying to see what was going on with my daughter in Pennsylvania. How she got murdered. Now, every day becomes challenging because I still have to figure out a way to survive. I still have to find out how to live. And then all this starting over and over and over. I mean, that's been my life for years. And they deliberately, intentionally wanted my life to be that way. But God had other plans. So God is just fed up. I kind of wanted to talk about, every time I go on the internet, sometimes I find information about they are maybe the Department of Justice, for instance. Oh, we just arrested this guy who was into child pornography. Okay. But if you think back in the day, we used to have all these different go bar over here. It was one back there. You turn down and go down the block. There was one over there, one over here, And what they did was eliminated all the go bars and then set it up so that men could have easy access from the comforts of their home to watch women. But they didn't set the cameras in the go bars or ask people who want to do this for them. No, they going into women's apartments and putting cameras in their apartments and videotaping them with their having intimacy or with their children. You know, I mean, here it is. This is so private. And these kids is innocent. So when you get a man and he gets locked up because he didn't watch a kid get undressed in her bedroom, she's innocent. This is exactly why we have all these rapes now. All the criminal activity that has increased. Okay, especially when we're talking about assaults, rapes, child pornography, father kids. Okay, all because of this pornography scandal that housing authority got going on. And they think all they see is this money, this money that they making, and they get rich off of it. I mean, they done got so big now. They all over in Puerto Rico now. So that really gives variety for men who is into or subscribing to this particular site. So let me talk about yes, they don't like competition. So as you'll notice, they'll have, especially in North, before I left, I noticed there was an attorney who was having some sort of a pornography ring. It wasn't that big, but they got him and locked him up before it big. See, they don't like housing authority. They don't want competition, mafia. So, and what about them? Why nobody not locking them up? There was a woman in Newark. She was a madam. And for her to be this madam, I don't know. I know she was in Newark, but I don't know exactly where. And what did they do? Broke down her ring, because she had a little madam ring going on, and just eliminated her entire ring madam program she got going on. Locked her up. But I never hear them talking about locking up anybody who's operating Section 8, because they got this hidden. It is hidden below areas that you wouldn't even believe. So it's well hidden. So nobody won't know that this is what Section 8 is doing. They're not going to have no real huge announcement. Of course not. But it took a long time for me to figure this mess out. In addition to that, God was with me every step of the way. Like I said, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay. So when they see other people getting involved, they don't like competition. Oh no, they getting these people locked up. They calling authorities on them. They shutting their business down and the whole nine. But that's just it. They can do it, but nobody else can do it. But one thing about how they do it, I can respect it, because at least it's people that's down with it, that want to do it. But when you have people who's innocent, who doesn't want stuff like that and be a part of, something that ruins your dignity, your pride, your value, your self-worth, you are going after these people and exposing them. So bad. Too bad. So while you have a woman who's on Section 8, and when you have a child that grows on Section 8 to be a full-grown adult, now that means these men been watching your child as she's developing into womanhood. Now he's seen her get dressed. He watched her develop in the breast area, maybe her little booty cheeks, whatever. Now she's an adult. Now it's like, okay, she wants to go ahead and flourish, maybe make something of her life. But then they intervene and stop that. So it becomes a repeated cycle. It never stops. Let's talk about these implants. Okay. I got to thinking about when I had my procedure. I had an operation at St. James Hospital. And when they cut me on my breast, I thought, well, they even thought that it was cancer. They thought it was a tumor. But then after realizing it, it was an abscess. An abscess. They told me when they had cut it, it just drained. It just drained. But there was something in my body that's causing me to get abscesses or have an infection internally. Just like was in my ear. I'll tell you, I have the pictures. They're on my site. Go look at them. Look at it. Stare at it. Watch it. Just look at it real hard. I mean, take a good look. I stared. I wasn't getting a headache, but I stared enough. And by me staring at it, I'm like, wait a minute. Is this a part of it? So then it goes to show you every time if I'm talking about this, and let's say when I'm going on like Facebook, for instance, Facebook have these little short reels. They call them reels. And when you click on it, it'll show you a little bit of information about maybe somebody dancing. And then you could click the arrow and then it'll show you another short reel of maybe some animals fighting. Well, I clicked the arrow and guess what popped up? Somebody was actually getting something pulled out of their ear. And it looked like some tobacco or a combination of some other things. But my point for bringing that up is because since I've been talking about what I found in my ear and what God told me to do, put the peroxide in there. All of a sudden now, they want to start putting things up here to demonstrate that what I thought I saw is not what I saw. It's not it at all. Really? So God lying, huh? You're not going to get me twice. Okay? God not lying. That's why when I put the peroxide in my ear, it turned into this little round ball. It looked like a piece of gum. And it's still in there right now. I have to go to the doctors and have them remove it. But what worries me is that is there any wires attached? Is it so stuck down in there that it could be behind the eardrum? Can it puncture my eardrum if they try to take it out? I mean, I have so many concerns. I got so many questions. Now, as outside of that, I've been sick for years. Not only with the ear issue, but just sick internally, like from respiratory, maybe even my throat. Over here, I had the swelling. I couldn't figure it out. Now, I'm thinking, do I have another implant in me? Was there an implant in me when I had the procedure done, and not necessarily in my ear, somewhere on my person? I don't know, in my breast area, throat area. Could be somewhere on my vaginal wall. Who knows? Okay. Because the only time they can implant you or put an implant in you, you have to be under anesthesia. That's the only way. Because anybody awake, gonna let somebody give you an implant and you're awake, oh, you're very stupid. Okay. Very stupid. So for the ladies who's having problems, the implant can cause you to have problems. It could be in the throat area. I know it was in my ear. I didn't have problems with hearing because I could hear well. But I know that what I saw, and I got pictures to prove it. Just go to my site, you'll see it. It's www.harvesters.store-links. When you get there, you're going to see my mushrooms there. Just scroll right down. You'll see it. So I kind of want to do, I was thinking about doing a recap of everything, but I got a feeling that I'm missing something because of all these years. There was so much that I had uncovered. And then I had family tell me when I'm going to them, I just want to just tell them about it because I needed to get some of this off of my back. It was just so heavy. And when I would go to my family, one of my family members said, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. And I'm thinking to myself, I just want you to hear me out. I just want you to hear me out. That was it. Other family members said, I told them about it before I even get it out. They was like, oh, I can't help you with that one. You don't want that one. I can't help you with that one. See, that tells me, that goes to show how much the mafia is scaring everyone. Everybody. I can't even talk to my own family. I can't even talk to my own family. So I wasn't telling them so they could help me with anything. No. Because I knew they couldn't do anything. I was telling them I just wanted somebody to talk to. Just to hear me out. I mean, you got it was a while back, but when you had people just men mad with you because you are probably ruining somebody's night. Maybe they were going at this site on a regular basis, and by me doing this, I'm ruining their pornography time, their little me time. I guess. I don't know. Every one of these tapings that I do, I'm gonna have to make sure that they are exposed. I'm gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna keep talking about it. They're not gonna stop me. And when the time comes, God is He's gonna handle this situation. I know He is, because He is letting me see some things that's out of this world. Now, I talked about some things I gave up, and when I gave up these things, I gave up some of everything. But each time I just didn't know that God was using me, because He knew I would be an impact. I could make a huge impact on the world. And starting with our nation here, I could change things that nobody would ever even know. A lot of women are sick. They don't know why. That's why you got an implant in you. If in fact you have odor and you don't know where this odor is coming from, you've been trying cleaning, washing, don't help. If you got odor on you and you on Section 8, there's a possibility you had an implant in you, honey. But they don't want me to tell people this, because if enough of us get together, they would have to see us. But too many people is scared. Too many people are scared. Just like I lost my loved one. There she go back there. Chanel, I lost my baby. But I'm not giving up. Because that means this fight is still ongoing, because I know there's another implant. Just like they try to throw me off to make me think, you just had a little dust in your ear, and they try to show me that little reel on Facebook. I don't care. You can show me 1,000 reels. I know what I saw. And I took a picture of it. And the funny thing, top it all off, how did I manage to get an ear cleaning system? I mean, if we're talking about to check your examination, for your ears, so you can have a system, or like this little, it's like a little gadget that you can use for, it's like a gadget you could use for your ears, just give a regular ear examination. But after I purchased that, I decided that it wasn't enough. So that's when I went and I got the ear cleaning system. But the funny thing is, even though I purchased that, the other piece, the other gadget, which is just the examination, I never examined my ears. And the reason being, like, how am I examining my own ears? The cleaning system have you download a camera on your computer. So while you're in it, you can literally see what's in your ear while you're in it. That's amazing. And if I wanted to tell where this company is, I have no clue. I don't even know how I got it. I don't even know the name of this. I just made it up. But I tell you, I put it on my site. It's there. It's there. The whole contraption or gadget come with the cords. You plug it into your computer, your USB, and you download on your computer. What's going to be next? What's going to be next? So now, right now, I'm still back at square one. If I wanted to have my company, because they was able to hear my conversations, they'll take my phone and act like, take my phone and send my call somewhere else. So somebody could call and ask for Armo practitioner, then it'll say, you have reached this number is disconnected, or it might send it somewhere else and let it keep ringing. It doesn't go to my voicemail. Like, I've never had messages. The only time let me rephrase that. The only time I have messages on my phone if I had prior patients and I have a message for them. But anybody new, because they trying to shut me down. Now, let's talk about this for a second. Okay. Any business that I've had in the past while I was on Section 8, they shut it down fast. I had a program called The Talent in You. It was a television program. I mean, I went as far as having a prototype of it created so that I could see exactly what I can do with it. I put it on different channels, like Cox Communications and some of the cable companies throughout New Jersey, and I hit like some areas like Philadelphia, Connecticut, and I was hitting different areas with this little 30-minute program I created. And what did they do? Shut it down. I was out talking to people about, like, let's say if they had a business card, and if I put a program together, which was about a half an hour show, and in between the show of each act, we could put a business card up there to advertise. While I'm doing this, I'm going to different stores in Newark or Springfield Avenue. While I'm going to different stores, I'm asking owners of stores if they'd like to advertise on my show. I'm going to be putting it on Cox Communications. A lot of people will see it. You get a lot of exposure, blah, blah, blah. I'm selling it. And what did they do? They sent somebody in to go behind me so that when I left out, somebody else came in and introduced them the same exact thing. They were on my heels. Everything I did, no matter what I did, no matter where I went. And this will prompt me to say, what in the world? Because know how I caught them? I had to go back into the store because I think I went back in the store so I could ask them about it was a clothing store. And I think I went back in because I wanted to ask them about an outfit that I had saw. And I was like, oh, that's a cute little outfit. But I had already walked halfway down the block after I talked to them. But I turned around and came back. But by the time I turned around and came back, the person hadn't came in behind me and left. So by the time I came back, he was already gone. So when I came back, he was like, so y'all got real competition out there, huh? What competition? He said, well, as soon as you left, somebody else came in and offered the same deal. I was like, are you serious? They wanted me shut down. So they have a way to keep women on Section 8. That's what they're doing. They're going to force you to keep you from working. They're going to force you back on welfare, force you back on getting food stamps. Because this cycle is it's actually a revolving door because it just keeps going around. Okay. So when you're trying to get a job, you get the job, and then they let you go, and then you go back on welfare, you go get food stamps, then you go get another job, and then they let you go, and then you go back on welfare, you go back on food stamps. It's like a revolving door. Can you imagine somebody going this all of their life? Right now, DOJ, Department of Justice, because I know I'm bouncing around talking about different things and I'm going back to what I might have talked about prior. But Department of Justice, I think that a lot of the companies or the big governmental agencies are aware of the pornography scandal. And I also think that they're down with it. Okay. Because they go out and they arrest people that are small time, doing small things, small jobs. And these people that they're arresting, like I just seen one the other day, and they talking about, oh, well, we're going to give him like 135 years. What about the pornography scandal these dogs got going on? Human trafficking, sexual trafficking, child pornography. They ain't touching them. I'm so mad. But you know what? I'm putting everybody on blast. Them, FBI, I don't care. I really don't care. Because after what they're doing, they know all that what they're doing is wrong. Okay. So I'm gonna go. I think next week I might sum it up, do a little recap, and then just keep showing the videos repeatedly. Because everybody, I want all my family to see this, especially because they know when they was around me, they knew I was sick. I knew I was sick, but I couldn't figure out why or what I was sick from. And if I go to the doctors, they wouldn't give me an answer. They wouldn't tell me. Okay. And I have a lot of different problems going on. And of course, thank God for my herbal medicine, because I've been having issues with my hips. And I'm thinking, especially on my left side, okay, I thought that it's sciatica. Okay. The herbs is working for it too. That sciatica herbs is no problem, no joke at all. It works in no time. And then, my pressure was up at one point. So I cut back on the salt, all that sodium. I love salt. I refuse to cut back a lot, but I cut back. So I don't even have to take the high blood pressure tea anymore. And again, I owe my thanks to my herbal medicine. Thank God that God intervened and convinced me to go to school for it, because I was able to keep myself healthy enough to be strong enough to learn enough to continue on fighting them, because He wants us to continue fighting. He does. But it's not so much as my fight. This battle is not mine, it's the Lord's. And He's coming after them. So I'm going to keep talking about this because I already know what they're up to. I already know what they've been into. And I already know who they're hurting in the interim. What they fail to realize is that they're going to be in pain soon. So, okay, I'm going to be signing off. And then I'm going to gather, information that I want to discuss and finalize this. And I'm going to probably do a recap about everything so that people can understand everything I'm going through. Even right now today, they still trying to keep me broke, trying to make me homeless, trying to force me into some kind of scandal somewhere. It just won't stop with them. And it's how stupid they are. They don't even know when to quit. But they feel like if they get with somebody, once they have you and they feel like that you are somebody who was on the program that was forced for many years, I don't know if they feel like I owe them, because I don't owe them nothing. And like I said on the other videotapes, or the other parts, 2 or 3, one of them, women don't understand. You think Section 8 is not paying your rent, honey. You are. Every time you decide you want to have your intercourse or intimacy with the man, yes, they're going to keep putting you on. So let me go ahead and end this, and I'm going to do this again. I'll be back probably tomorrow night. And I'm just going to have to jot everything down so I can sum it up and do a recap and let y'all know. Whatever y'all doing, I'm telling you, God is about to change this nation. He is. All right, so all I can say now is good night. God bless y'all. Bye-bye now.